Today we will talk about something that everyone in school has had to do at one point. Yeah, you know what I'm about to talk about. I'm gonna talk about tornado drills. And not just tornado drills, fire drills. Not just fire drills, lockdown drills. The 3 drills that every student in America has had to go through at one point. And that one weird year in elementary school when everyone was like, earthquake drill! And you're like, what the heck? And all the teachers make you get under your desks and you're like, I don't think this could support a human being because it's about to fall apart. How is it going to support the ceiling once it caves in on us? Anyway, so basically, the reason I want to talk about these drills is that I don't think the school is very prepared for things to happen. For example, we had a tornado drill last Tuesday, and, it was going all fine. Like, our principal came on the announcements, and she was like, staff, I just wanted to let you know that we will be going into a fire drill right now. And we're all like, don't we usually have alarms for those? So we're all sitting there like, okay. And so then she goes off, and then she comes back on, and she's like, oh no, I'm sorry. I meant tornado drill. And we're like, okay, that makes more sense. It all made sense until she was like, okay, basement and first floor, get into your positions. All right. Well, that was great and all, but I was on the second floor. So I was like, okay, that doesn't make too much sense, but whatever, it's just a drill, right? So yeah, everyone's getting to their positions. I'm like, okay, this shouldn't take over a minute, 2 minutes, tops. At least 5 minutes later, she comes back on and she's like, second floor, get into your positions. And I'm like, lady, if this was a real thing, I'm pretty sure that there wouldn't have been a second floor by now. It would have been gone away in the wind somewhere. It would have been sucked up and taken to the Wizard of Oz, and the Land of Oz, or wherever Dorothy was. So that just didn't make too much sense. So anyway, so we're walking down the stairs, walking like the slowest pace you could imagine. And I'm like, if this was a real thing, I'd be shoving, I'd be running, I'd be pushing. I'd just be like, let me get to the basement, because that's probably the safest place in the school, because everything else will probably just fall in and cave in. So anyway, we go like to the farthest end of the school from where we were. We were up in the library. So yeah, we had librarians following us going, shh, shh, no talking. And I'm like, what? Is the tornado gonna hear us? Like, at this point, we wouldn't have even been alive if this was a real thing. So I don't think it matters. But anyway, so we're in the little hallway, and so then we finally get sat down. And our teacher's like, okay, now face this way. And I'm like, why do we have to face that way? She's like, because normally tornadoes come from like this way, direction to that direction. So if you face that way, and I'm like, okay, I'll face this. I was the only person sitting that way. And I'm like, I feel stupid. And so then once everyone's in their positions, they're like, okay, good job, everyone. Tornado drill's over. And I'm just like, we weren't even sitting there for a minute, and you already got me quits. Like, was it because he took so long to call down second floor to get into their positions that you're like, oh man, we have to spend these times into the state. This isn't going to look good, so we better end it right now, because they just sat down, okay, just right now. So anyway, that was a waste of time, and I hope we never have a tornado, because our school doesn't know what the heck they're doing. They have second floor wait for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes later. Like, there's not even going to be a second floor to get to positions, because the tornado will have ripped through. I'm like, I'm never going to send my children to a school building that has more than one floor, because I'll know how that'll end up. Be like, what happened to my kid? Weren't you supposed to keep him safe? Like, yes, but you see, they're on the second floor, so we had to wait until a basement and first floor, which were already relatively safe, to get into position. I hope you understand. I'm sorry for your loss, but just the way things go. Like, that's not... Anyway, that didn't make any sense. So now, on to our next topic. Fire drills! So, fire drills are pretty simple. Basically, they just pull the alarm, everyone leaves in a calm, orderly fashion, which, if that ever really happened, I'd be running, I'd be pushing, I'd be screaming, get out my way! Like, I gotta, and my stuff. I'm gonna bring all my stuff with me, too, if it was a real thing. Like, there are flames and everything. I mean, not leaving all my school stuff behind. It took me 2 hours to do that math homework. I'm not gonna leave it in my backpack. fire drills aren't that bad, but it just gets to the point where we go outside and then they're like, okay, everyone turn around, let's take attendance so then we can watch the school burn down if it was actually real fire. Yeah, anyway. Next thing on our list is lockdowns. Those are not fun because there's always one kid that you have to sit next to during a lockdown that has really bad gas. And normally that kid is me. But I at least contain myself or try to. There's just kids that are just like, and you're just like, oh dear God, I have to sit here for God knows how long. Because at least they don't wait for second floor to get into positions then. Yeah. Just lockdowns are basically just stay in your room and go into a back corner. But see, things that I don't think the school thinks about is what happens if we need to go into lockdown mode and we're all at lunch. What do we do? No one has ever addressed that to us. We're like, where do we go? Are y'all gonna stuff us in like the auditorium? Like, we eat basically in the front of the school. So if there was ever anything and they came through the front, like, just saying, it's not the best situation, obviously, and they haven't told us what to do. I just have a lot of doubts in this public school system. Oh, and then that earthquake drill, that was strange. In elementary school, I remember we had that. Although we stopped, because all these kids were like, why do we have to sit under our desk? What is this helping any? It was just basically, it was just the dumbest thing, really. We have to be prepared for an earthquake. And I'm like, although that was before 2012, so everyone was a bit paranoid by the time it got to 2012. None of us would know what to do if, like, all the natural disasters were happening at once. And so after 2012, though, we didn't have to do any earthquake drills, so that's good. So yeah, that's basically all I had to say about that. It's just I don't think our school system is very well prepared for anything that might happen. They try, but obviously they haven't thought things through like I have. Or maybe they have, and they just choose not to acknowledge those bad thoughts. I'm not sure. Subscribe if you liked this little video, and if not, thumbs up, and don't unsubscribe if you are already subscribed. And I do Classic Joke Wednesday every Wednesday, so subscribe for that at least if you like laughing at really bad jokes that I write. So anyway, thank you for watching, and stay safe, and have an alternate plan for when your school plan will probably fail. Just saying. Or what if we have a fire and there's a tornado outside? What are we gonna do then? Or what if there's a fire, earthquake, and tornado? Well, 2012 already passed, so obviously they thought about that, because it's already passed, right? That only happened during 2012. Right.